This is the day in the life of a wild profession. The people who take on extreme conditions and circumstances to try and capture Earth's most beautiful creatures. And sometimes it goes terribly wrong.
What's the plan? Okay, I'll explain everything in just a minute. We can't wake the baby.
Alright, my gear is set here. This stuff isn't coming at all. Got Martin's stuff is set here. And then we got Chase's stuff. He's working on his.
Help me.
But he's thinking about the whole team. So understandably so, he's gonna have a lot of stuff.
So I have to pull up my list and go through each item every single time. So depending on what we need to pack down to, that's kind of the main thing. It's like, how many pieces of gear can we bring? Make sure that you have everything you need for like the core shot. In my case, it's like my big telephoto lens and my tripod for video. 600 mil. So this is the go-to lens for making sure that we're staying stealth and quiet, and so we can photograph anything from far away. Tripod with a pano head on there. Tripod is carbon fiber, ultra lightweight, super stable. Next, we have 24 to 70, so this is for all the shots around camp. This is my main body, so I have an R5, and then on here is 7200 mil, just in case the wildlife come closer than the 600 mil, and then I can have a 1.4 times extender on there to make this go a little bit further as well. So this is the second body, the Mark IV. I'll always have a second lens on here ready to go. So in this case, I have my 16-35 on there. Obviously we need batteries, so we have a handful of them plugged into the wall right now, and then we'll fill this up with memory cards as well. So that's my camera setup for going on a wildlife expedition in a really remote region. So it's all focused on having the most amount of reach possible in the least amount of gear possible. Ready to go. It's gonna be wild up there.
Let's go, boys.
Alright, here we go.
Alright, we are officially on the road now, and here's the plan. We got about a 3-hour drive north where we're gonna catch a float plane. And from the float plane, we're gonna go into the Gulf Islands.
Yeah, one of the Gulf Islands. Yeah.
One of the Gulf Islands to begin our actual expedition. But this is all part of the journey, is actually getting there. And alongside us on this expedition, you guys all know him, you love him.
Hello.
From Japan to Egypt to Croatia and all places in between, Tyler Cave, plus Beard on this adventure.
Got the beard growing. Welcome to Vancouver Island.
And we got Martin in the
Hey.
back. Martin, you might have seen him from such places as the wilderness. Make sure you follow him along as well. What's the mission of this trip?
So the mission of the trip, we're going to photograph coastal wolves. So coastal wolves are a special subspecies of wolf that basically feed off the ocean, and they're only in remote regions off Vancouver Island, and they're extremely special, super rare, and sometimes difficult to find. So that's the mission, but we never know. As ethical wildlife photographers, there's a huge separation between someone who just captures animals and someone who does it ethically. So for us, it's all about the adventure and hoping that we get wildlife. We've studied a lot of the behavioral patterns of the wolves. We know kind of where they live and where they tend to go. And so we're just kind of going into the location. Hopefully we cross paths with them.
All right, here we go. Into the wilderness. Wolves is the mission. Wildlife photography is the profession. Ow! Ow! Ow, ow, ow! Wow. We made it to our destination to take off from on the seaplane. This is gorgeous. The whole drive up here was gorgeous. All right, we gotta sign in here on the plane and then take off.
I'm getting lucky front seat. Seatbelt is down low.
I'm strapped in. Okay. Hey.
Oh, hello.
Nice bringing a local with us.
We're just gonna taxi for 5 minutes or so. I'm gonna put the heater on. nose slightly closed.
Thank you, sir.
Let's give it a bit of a twist so that the nose spins over this way.
Okay.
Perfect, guys. Well, you guys enjoy the stay out here, and hopefully the wolves will be cooperative.
Thank you so much. It's all begins. All right, we have officially landed. Our plane has left, and now it's just 4 idiots out in the wilderness, hoping to stumble upon. Oh, as a sea otter just dives in right next to us.
Oh, it's a seal.
Stumble upon some wolves in a safe manner. But we have a ton of gear, so we're gonna try to trek this now.
This will be interesting.
About 45 minutes to an hour that direction, and hope for the best.
Twice.
How are our spirits? High? No one's looking for. No one's the flight. It was an all-time high. No one's looking forward to this hike we're about to make, but this is part of the game.
No one sees this part. No.
Nobody.
This is the real life, huh?
Yeah, couple runs. Thing is, this is every expedition. This isn't like this is the one expedition where this happens. Like, how's your flexibility?
Good idea. This is real life. First wolf track. First wolf track.
You're kidding.
All right. We've crossed 4 rivers. A little bit wet, but I've changed my shoes now. This is what you got to go through to get there. This is the stuff you never see from those beautiful photos online. This is my only contribution to the team. Oh man, I see the beach.
This is what we do it for. So good.
Unbelievable, we made it. We also have to go back and make 2 more trips because half of our stuff is back there. At least 2 wolves came through here not too long ago, Tyler just said. So we're gonna set up camp, secluded beach, British Columbia. Now we can start snapping some photos. Mission update. We're setting up the tents now. Chase and Martin are over on this one. Okay setup. But Tyler and I over in this one. Holy cow. Look at this setup. What are we on? Architecture Digest? We got the tarp set up here. We got our tents. We're all set up, blocked away from the wind and the rain that's sure to come. It's inevitable. Hopefully it'll come off the beach and we'll be protected here. Look at these views.
We are having fun.
A wildlife photographer's lunch hack. This is the most effective way to deliver your calories when you're out camping and roughing it. And this one is ginger stir-fried rice with beef. Tyler's got pad thai,
Green curry.
Mac and cheese.
and the mac and cheese hack. So you just add a little bit of water to your boiling pot here. Little propane cylinders. You add in the hot water into your bag, and voila. This is serious calories. As far as sodium goes, it's aggressive. Potassium also aggressive, but hey, if you're out here and you're roughing it, that's what you need. This actually looks pretty nice. I always add too much water in these things, but let's give it a try. Spongy, flavorful, yeah, really spongy. And I added way too much water, but the flavor is there and the calories are there, so this will do. All right, it's time to speed things up a bit. In order to give you a true perspective into the life of a wildlife photographer, I'm gonna need to stretch out our time frame for this one. First, part 1, we'll call it the good times. Over the next 48 hours, under the beautiful sunshine on the west coast of British Columbia, we trekked across the incredible terrain and rugged landscapes in search of any sign of life. All right, now we are out surveying the land. We are trekking around the coast through these trails and trying to catch a footprint, something that leads us in the right direction. This terrain is incredible. What do you think?
It's awesome. We found whale bone here, so we know that it washed up and that was what some of the wolves were eating.
Means we're on the right trail?
I think so.
This is a sea otter head. Wow. Rest in peace, buddy. Oh my god. Found an entire whale skeleton and Martin found the head. Look at this. Whoa. That's crazy. There's just whale parts, whale bones everywhere. What is it?
Dead eagle.
We just stumbled on a dead bald eagle. Oh man. Poor guy. We're getting warmer. We're getting warmer. Fresh bear poop right there. Be on the lookout. Coming down by the water now to a lagoon at low tide. We gotta be extra quiet now.
Hey guys, so we found wolf scat. So we're in a tiny little bay area, and we saw some paws and tracks, so we're looking for the entry and exit points at the beach. So you can tell those points when they're pushed down. So we just checked them. And
Just like right here. That's pushed down tracks right there.
yeah, all pushed down. So it's a good sign. So maybe we'll put up a camera trap in this area. See.
We mounted trail cameras along natural paths to give us another set of eyes.
So setting up the trail cam, we have a wildlife path there and scat over there. So we're just trying to survey the area and see if they're gonna be coming by this spot.
That's a Game Boy in there?
Yeah.
We popped up blinds on 4 different beaches to see if the wolves would get comfortable and pass by. As the sun sets, what's happening?
Setting up the blind for tomorrow morning. So there's low tide, so if you're walking, chances are the wolf would run away. So we have to kind of stay stationary, set up two blinds down the beach, and then hopefully the wolves come in the morning across our path, and that's how you do it. So these blinds are just set up the night before in case the wolves want to come out and smell them.
You ready for this? This is
Sure.
where the action happens. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
All right. Lightweight.
I was sitting this all day.
Yeah.
We also got very lucky in connecting with the 5th member of our team, who knew our general direction and boated in to find us. Tyler was just flying, and out of the middle of nowhere,
Down to person.
we found our missing 5th member. Wow, this guy's a legend. He just came out of the woods when he saw and heard the drone. Honestly, finding Mark way out here was a much needed morale boost for the team. And now we dig into our scouted positions and just wait. We wait and we wait for hours at a time in silence. We're patient, and hopeful, and at least for now, dry.
What's the setup this morning?
We're hiding in a blind and we're freezing. And I have my Canon R5 ready to go with a 600 mil on it, and I'm just sitting here waiting. Nothing yet.
We're at a new location. This seems like wolf territory. This seems like bear territory. And I say that because we've seen both bear and wolf poop on the trail right around here. They gotta be out here. Tell me, what's the status of wolves in this area?
Yeah, it's actually in British Columbia in general. It's pretty bad. There's open season on these guys, or if it's not open season, it's actually a very long season. So you can snare them, hunt them. It's absolutely crazy. There's parts of British Columbia where the government actually funds culls that are where they put a collar on an alpha female, and then she goes to another pack, and then they shoot the whole pack, and then she moves to another pack, and then they shoot that pack. It's absolutely insane. So it's a surprise that we actually still have any left. People think of them as, sharks. Like they're so misunderstood that we just think that they're these enemies that are gonna go after livestock, that are gonna go into towns and do all of these things. But in reality, they don't care. They don't want to be around us.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get rid of all their food in the forest, and then we're surprised why they come into town looking for food.
Hot, fresh scat on the trail.
So we just spent like 3 hours at that beach, nothing. We're coming back for lunch. Martin and Tyler spotted this. This is exciting. We don't know.
We get excited about any signs and take notice of every single cracking tree branch or forest movement. We have wolf, cougar, and bear scat all around us, and I'm certain they're aware of our presence. But up until this point, we're always just a few steps behind. I mean, if we were just out here to camp, it would be a very successful trip. No sightings of big predators and a campfire on the beach every night. Unfortunately, this was only part 1. Overnight into day 3, everything took a turn for the worse.
Everything was blowing around everywhere last night. It's not an easy game. It's not an easy game. That was the worst night of sleep for all of us. We got hit with a massive wind and rainstorm, and it rocked the entire camp here. Live, real life reactions to last night, guys.
Wow.
Thoughts?
I thought a tree was falling on me.
At 5:30, I got up and I rolled over and I go, Tyler, should we do it? You up? It's nothing. Crickets.
I didn't sleep.
I heard your alarm go off. I'm like, please don't get up. Please don't get up.
I was laying down in my bed and I grabbed my clothes, like my pack of clothes, put it over my face. I'm like, I'm getting hit by a fucking tree.
Yeah, at one point I thought someone was shaking my hand. guys, I'm getting up.
Fuck. That was rough.
Back at it again, patrolling beaches, hoping for movement. Full cruise with us. The rain won't stop. I feel like Leonard DiCaprio from The Revenant, just trekking, surviving through these harsh conditions, making moves, just hoping for the best.
This is what it's all about, putting in the hours, time, patience, being out in the rain and the cold. But, you know, hopefully worth it in the end.
Just checking the camera trap. Nothing on there yet.
Here we are, set up one of our blinds here. The rain has stopped for a second. We're just on the beach, this is our view. Patience, patience, patience.
Just a couple of guys being dudes out in the woods looking for wolves.
Look at that beard, eh?
Yeah, yours good. Mine, look at the gray coming in mine. On the chin when I let it go. You getting some?
I'm starting to eat this.
Oh yeah, you gotta trim that. Who looks better? What do you guys like better? Him with this beard, or I'll show a shot of him completely bald-faced in Egypt? Which one do you like better? We got a lot of time on our hands. We're still waiting. We're still waiting. Come on, boys. Or girls, come on out. Also, just for reference, 6 layers on. It's the most layers I've ever had on in my entire life. Rain jacket, puffer jacket, fleece, this Nike kind of dry fit long sleeve, a long sleeve icebreaker, and a short sleeve smart wall.
Plus your 2 cap Velcro.
Plus this guy, hat,
Look at all the layers on the pants.
gloves, and I have 3 layers of pants on.
Alright, that was unsuccessful 4 hours in the blinds. Did you see anything in your blind?
Oh, I got beat around with that blind. It was hitting me in the face.
Leaving this location, the rain is just pelting us, and it is miserable out here. Oh. The rain is coming in sideways. Man, I'm gonna change this episode to wildlife photographer to a day in the life of a survivalist, because this is taking everything we got to keep moving. Walking up an estuary in low tide. I don't even know if you can hear me. We're in it. We're stuck in this storm. It's blowing us away. Ah! This is when everything comes together. All of the hard work and struggling pays off. Well, that's what I wish I could tell you right now. But the truth is, alongside some of the most accomplished wildlife photographers on the planet, we move through the woods exhausted, soaked, and defeated, with nothing to show for it. Not one image to be framed, and not one epic climax to give this adventure a nice storybook ending. As the storm worsens, we race back to camp for cover and wait to be airlifted out the following morning. This is our reality, and in this moment, it sucks. gotta get back to camp.
Shit tent. Oh, oh my God, we finally made it. Absolutely so. I mean, I already got this out, but that doesn't even do it justice. I could drink water from that. I have no idea what we're gonna do because we can't have a fire. It's too early to go to bed, so it's gonna be an interesting time.
Wet. Yeah, like you said, just can't have a fire. 100%. Hard to tell on camera how horizontal the rain is going and how strong the wind is. Usually on the west coast we get lots of rain or windy, but to have them both at the same time is like sucks.
We gave it all we had. We tried everything. We are fucking exhausted. You know, I think it's time to go home.
All right, boys. We are now in the tent after a long ass day.
Very long
Long
day.
ass day? Long ass 4 days.
A full week here. Tommy, this is the reality, isn't it?
This is it. This is like a pretty good snapshot of a day in the life of wildlife photographer. I would say this is most accurate.
This is most accurate. It's the part that people don't really see, right? Like we come out here, we do this, we get wet, we put in the time, and so much of the time you don't see anything. I leave my family behind, we all do, and then we're out here suffering through it, and then sometimes we don't have anything to show for it. Like, and sometimes years. I've waited 3 years for my polar bear stuff, if not more, for some of it. So
And that's your big shot is the polar bear shot that really catapulted your career. And how long? And it took you 3 years to get the shot.
And more. Like I was dreaming of that shot for 8 years, and 3 years trying actually in the field, similar conditions like this, like cold, wet, days of seeing absolutely nothing, and then sometimes it just comes together and you witness magic.
And tell me about like the fact that there is easier ways.
Yeah.
Right?
A more accurate video would be day in the life of an ethical wildlife photographer. So for us, it's like going out, making sure we study the ecosystems, we understand what's going on that time of year. We're tracking the wildlife with the prints, the scat, different behavioral patterns based on feeding. And so it's something like with wolves, it's the luck of the draw. So it's like with grizzlies and things like that, you and I have been out together. Yeah. We showed you some amazing spots, and we know that it's like highly successful, those type of trips that are based on those seasonality. But with wolves, it's something where you're just hoping to cross paths, get in the right position, be the right place, right time. We're not doing anything like baiting, anything like calling. So, you know, if you are a fan of wildlife photography, my number one advice would be just ask if it's done ethically. So many of the places, so many of the photos that you see, they're actually just baited and trapped, and they're in little game reserves where they're feeding the wildlife, and that's brutal. That's like the worst thing. So you have all these people that are showcasing beautiful animals, but they're not necessarily doing it in a proper ethical way. And for us, we just work our ass off to tell that story of the adventure and the raw beauty of nature.
Ethical wildlife photography, maybe not fair to us, but suffering through it in the rain. But
this is what makes it worth it.
This is what makes it worth it. That's the part of the beauty, right? When you finally do see the animal and you yourself realize what you went through for that shot, you're like, oh my God, it's worth it to you.
Yeah. And talk to me, Chase, about how you've made this a career.
So it first started with taking prints, like taking shots and then turning them into prints. That was like one of the first things I found that was like the most obvious. Like you're creating art, and that's a beautiful thing. That I come from a painting and drawing background, so for me that was like a natural thing to start doing prints, and I could do that while I had like a completely other career. But wildlife photography typically starts out as a passion for most people, and then that evolved into photo tours. So going on remote locations and bringing clients with us to first like offset our own expedition costs so that we could go out there and not have to spend all of our savings. And then that turned into kind of a more robust business, and also teaching people how to sell prints as well. Education's a big part of what I do to help other people like turn their expensive endeavor of wildlife photography into something where you can make it, kind of go around a little bit quicker. So yeah.
And anybody just starting out, what advice would you give them?
Get out there. Wildlife aren't just going to show up when you want them to be there. You have to be out in the field.
Noted.
Never give up, because you're going to be faced with challenges, not just in the field. Like, this is a light challenge compared to what we do sometimes in the office. Like, you're going to face challenges, rejections, people saying no to you. You just keep trying, keep doing it, and eventually one day you're going to get there.
Awesome. Gentlemen, This has truly been an honor and a privilege.
Thanks so much.
Thank you guys. I'll go back to my tent now and finish up.
Get out of here.
And just like that, I am back in my tent, shared with Tyler. He's all curled up. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I wasn't sure exactly what to expect coming out here with these guys, but I learned a ton, gained some new friends, and maybe we didn't leave with the most desired of results in terms of content, in terms of clicks, but I think this gives you guys a real life experience of what it's like out in the field with these incredible wildlife photographers. 100% have gained a newfound respect for the images that you see online and the people who do it ethically to make it happen and keep it sustainable and friendly to the wildlife. So if you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you on the next one. If you guys have any other ideas for day in the life episodes, other contacts, or people you think would be interesting, jobs, cultures, people, leave that in the comments below. Rain is picking up and there's a lot of noises going on out there. I'm gonna end this here. We have a 5 a.m. wake up to catch a seaplane out of here. Whew. See you in the next one. Just to tie things up, for those wondering how this all ended, we get notice on our satellite phone that the sky would clear for a brief window around 9 a.m. So we packed up all our stuff and trekked back through the woods to the bay to be picked up. Our pilot tells us on the way back home that if we would have missed this pickup, we would have been stranded out here for another 3 days because the second storm was closing in quickly. We gotta lift out of here. Time to pack up all our gear. Say goodbye to the wilderness. Layers off, layers on, layers off, layers on. How is it?
It's great.
Water bottle with the filter, very important because I say fuck. Everything's very important, very important. Everything is essential. That's why I'm packing.
Now we're in Cabela's getting supplies. And this is going to be the food of choice. Shout out Alpine Air, not sponsored. We got everything from chicken pad thai to rustic 3 cheese lasagnas. I mean, oh.
Okay, where'd you go?
I think I gotta get this. All right, coffee making tutorial for those that are in the coffee game.
So this is the AeroPress, and we're gonna make some coffee. So you pull it out, take off the filter, throw it onto the ground.
Okay.
Get a little bit of dirt like that. It's your B12. Put it back, clean it off. Take a big, beautiful scoop like that.
Okay. Where's this coffee from?
It's roasted here on Vancouver Island. Water's boiled. Just pour it in. Go up there.
Okay.
Take that filter that fell on the sand.
Uh-huh.
Put it upside down. Lock that puppy in.
Okay.
Give it a little bit. Oh fuck! Give it a little shake. and then you just restart this whole process.
Kidding me?
Ah, no! I'm so fucking sad right now.
Okay, here we go. Moment of truth.
A little bit of dirt, but perfect.
It's a good cup of joe.
Yeah, it's like strong. So that's what you need.